Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Quarters temporary studio. Welcome to the show. Batman, Batman. Okay, actually, I was more of a 90s cartoon Batman, so it's more like, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman. Or something like that. I don't think he really sounds exactly like that or at all like that, but regardless, that's right. Batman is here today because we've got some incredible custom Batman commanders to show you. A massive thank you to everyone over at Custom Dragon Highlander who submitted and voted on these fantastic Batman-inspired commanders. Custom Dragon Highlander is a fantastic community, and if you would like to join as well, make sure you check out that Discord link in the description below. And also, a huge thank you to Alno as well for organizing this and putting it all together. And yeah, with all that said, let's jump into it. So, coming in at 10th place, as voted on by the Custom Dragon Hunter community, we've got Batman Neo Gotham Knight from Alano. Batman Neo Gotham Knight is a 1/1 human ninja warrior that has flying and prowess that costs Azorius and a red. So we've got ourselves a Jeskai commander here that has, whenever you cast a non-creature spell from exile, you may pay Azorius red. If you do, search your library for an instant card with mana value less than Batman's power and cast that card without paying its mana cost, then shuffle. So this is a very interesting and spicy design, and let's see what Alno had to say about it. I was excited to make my favorite childhood superhero as a card. Batman Beyond was a favorite of mine as a kid, so here's my take on Terry McGinnis. Well, Alano, yeah, I'm a massive fan of Terry McGinnis as well. Batman Beyond was a great show, and yeah, I really like this design as well. I can think of a lot of interesting things to do with it. Of course, I mean, the more and more spells that you cast, that prowess really kicks in, giving more and more power to Batman and allowing you to tutor for different instants that might be in your deck that you can utilize in very effective ways. And of course, there are plenty of other ways to pump this commander to give you a massive reservoir of cards that you've got access to. And yeah, you can have some pretty spicy plays as well, such as getting one of the packs like Pact of Negation, or even a card like Evermind, which, well, is basically useless in a lot of decks out there, but could be pretty fun. Just be like, hey, you know what, I want to draw a card for a 0 mana spell. Regardless, a lot of exciting things that you can do with this one. Again, a massive thank you to Alno, and congratulations for finishing at 10th place. Next up, Bill, let's move on to 9th place with Harvey Two-Face by Crumble Butter. And Harvey Two-Face is a 3/3 human rogue with menace that costs 1 red, white, black, and has, at the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you win the flip, creature spells you cast this turn cost 1 less to cast. If you lose the flip, goad each creature you control. And whenever a creature you control that must attack this combat attacks, it gets +1/+1 for each attacking creature until end of turn. And Crumble Butter had this to say about the design. I mean, Two-Face has to be coin flips, right? Based on this premise, I wanted to try and capture some of Harvey's right and wrong duality with how you might play each turn, either suppressing his violent side for a turn, potentially growing his influence, or attacking with reckless abandon. As with most Batman villains, he has an almost fanatical following, so your other creatures will follow his lead. Well, Crumble Butter, yeah, most definitely a fanatical following for this one, being built up when you're winning those flips so you can cast more and more creatures, and they will follow Harvey into danger when you lose those. But of course, Harvey is going to pump all of them a ton because you are forcing those attacks. So have fun with that. Yeah, I really like this design. I like the duality to it. I like both sides of it really playing well together. So again, Crumble Butter, congratulations on your fantastic 9th place finish. But now we're moving on to 8th place with Harley Quinn Liberated and Poison Ivy Floral Caretaker by Dare Moon. And Let's break these down. Harley Quinn Liberated, a 3/2 Human Clown Rogue that costs 1 black red, and of course can partner with Poison Ivy. Menace. Harley Quinn attacks each turn if able, and whenever Harley Quinn attacks, it deals damage to defending player equal to the number of creatures they control. Next up, Poison Ivy Floral Caretaker, a 2/5 Human Plant Druid for 2 black and a green. Obviously partners with Harley Quinn. Whenever another non-token creature dies, its controller creates a 0/1 green plant creature token. Whenever a plant you don't control dies, its controller loses 1 life. And here's what Dare Moon had to say about this incredible partner combination. So, my partner pairing is based on their relationship over the years. Poison Ivy was the first real friend Harley had and always had her back. It was shown to be a very wholesome but also nurturing relationship. Ivy opened up to people a little bit, and Harley got the confidence she needed to be herself and the love she never had from the Joker. Therefore, I try to keep their flavor and have them work together in their unique way while trying not to make too many sacrifices for the partners to feel like partners. Mechanically, I see the deck being a John Token Aristocrats deck, playing with evasion cards and stuff like Grismold, Barchild, Mirror Turbine, to force your opponents to have fun as well. Harley with some evasion or some nurturing growth, +1 counters, can be both used as an accelerant and a win con. Well, Dare Moon, yeah, I think this combination is fantastic. What a great 1-2 punch, and they work incredibly well together and do some really exciting things, and I agree. Yeah, let's get some cards out to give our opponents a lot more fun, a lot more creatures, and make it so that they feel the sting of Poison Ivy and get smacked by a Harley for a ton. So yeah, overall, a fantastic design pairing, and again, congratulations to Dare Moon on your 8th place finish. Next up, we've got 7th place with Langstrom, a Verse Scientist from Arcanus. And Langstrom, a Verse Scientist, is a 1/2 human citizen for 1 black Simic. It says if it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as Langstrom enters the battlefield. As long as it's night, creatures with counters on them are 3/1 black bat mutants with flying and menace. And by paying 2, you pay 2 life, and you get a +1 counter on target creature. Any player may activate this ability. And here's what Arcanus had to say about the design. Dr. Kirk Langstrom was a scientist who created a serum that inadvertently turned him into Man-Bat. After being defeated in his monstrous form by Batman, he returned to work as a scientist until the League of Assassins kidnapped him and his family. The League forced him to create this serum for them and turn their members into bat monsters. I wanted to embody this mad scientist who, against his will, mutated others into man-bats, as shown by creatures with counters becoming bat monsters at night, and the pain of Langstrom being forced to work towards villainous causes with the last ability. The goal is to create a deck that can either or simultaneously be Sultai control, with turning your opponent's big or utility creatures into bats or making your own weak creatures into big evasive threats, all with the help of counter manipulation. I would imagine cards like Genesis Hydra and Stonecoil Serpent can make great use of this by becoming bigger evasive threats, or cards like Hepatra placing -1/-1 counters to instantly shoot down your opponent's threats. Absolutely, Arachnus, this is a sweet design, and I really like the push and pull of it. Obviously, again, like you said, you can make use of your own creatures becoming bigger threats or even more, substantial threats, giving them evasion as well. And you can really play with, your opponent's creatures getting taken out or, getting turned into less large threats. Much more manageable threats that you can take out or that you can just deal with having in play. So yeah, Langstrom, I really like the design of this. It really pulls in the characters, again, push and pull perspective. Absolutely love it. Congratulations again, Arcanus, on your 7th place finish. But now it's time for us to move on to number 6 with Alfred Pennyworth, designed by Choi. Alfred Pennyworth is a 2/3 human advisor for 1 white-blue that says, at the beginning of combat on your turn, reveal cards to the top of your library to reveal an equipment card with mana value less than or equal to the number of legendary permanents you control. Put on the battlefield attached to another legendary creature you control, and the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. And here's what Choi had to say about the design. Although I don't know a great deal about Batman, Alfred as Batman's butler has always been very interesting as a character. This card displays his ability to always be there to give Batman exactly what he needs. The card itself can be built as a mashup between something like Hammer Time in Modern and Legendary Tribal. It plays cheap legendary creatures to throw cheap equipment that are strong like Colossus Hammer, Umezawa's Jite, Shadow Spear, etc., and eventually suiting up your evasive legends with things like Cauldron Complete and Argentum Armor. Well, Choi, I think you very much embodied Alfred's supportive nature with this card. It's fantastic, suiting up your legends. I absolutely love it, and I love that it benefits you more and more based on the number of legendary permanents that you control. So yeah, get a ton of fantastic low-to-the-ground legendary creatures in play and have Alfred play support, getting them suited up, having them hit hard. There's a lot of exciting things that you can do with this one. And again, congratulations. Thank you for your fantastic design, Choi. You did a fantastic job at capturing the essence of Alfred. But now let's move on to number 5 with Barbara Gordon Oracle from Not Skywalker. Barbara Gordon Oracle is a 0/3 human advisor that costs 2 and a white and has pay a white, tap, put an intel counter on target permanent. Creatures you control have protection from permanents with intel counters on them. On top of that, whenever a permanent with an intel counter on it leaves the battlefield, draw a card. So here's what Not Skywalker had to say about this design. My main inspiration was the Arkham games. Throughout the series, Oracle is always providing intel and tech support over comms, and I wanted to make a card that embodies that archetype. An earlier draft of the card was more clue-based, but I decided protection grant encounters were a better way to evoke the feeling that Oracle is warning the frontline fighters what to watch out for in helping them get past security. Well, Not Skywalker, I really like what you did with this design, and yeah, those intel counters are quite sweet. Getting protection from permanents that have them on them, and also getting a benefit when those permanents get taken out. So yeah, if something's very pesky and you don't want to have to deal with it, let's get protection from it. Or maybe it's something that you're planning on taking out anyways, to be able to draw some cards. Yeah, being able to utilize those counters in a couple different ways can be very fantastic, and also, you can definitely utilize ways to untap Barbara to utilize that again to ensure that you can get more and more intel counters on permanents. I mean, at a certain point, you can get the board just filled with intel counters so you can kind of build up, this stash of potential card draw and also just have protection from basically anything you need protection from. So yeah, I really like the design of this commander. Congratulations again on your 5th place finish, Not Skywalker. Next up, though, we are moving on to number 4 with Batman Darkest Night, which comes from Pepsi. Batman Darkest Night is a 4/4 human warrior that costs 2 black and red that says cowards can't block Batman Darkest Night. Whenever Batman deals combination to a player, you may pay black-red any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, Batman deals damage equal to its power to that many target creatures. Creatures not dealt lethal damage this way become cowards. And of course, this effect lasts indefinitely. Now, here's what Pepsi had to say about this design. Bruce Wayne, the Batman most of us are familiar with, became the Dark Knight out of an incessant need to enforce the justice those around him won't enforce. The man on this card is not that Batman. Thomas Wayne, after the murder of his son in that all too familiar alleyway, became the Batman of the Flashpoint universe. His fight for this perverted justice has led to a life of violence and death, fueled by loss, sadness, and rage. I wanted to capture this philosophy of justice with this card, dishing out damage to those who deserve it with a Voltron-centered strategy tacked on to target removal. Rakdos is the perfect fit for this version of the Caped Crusader, as it opens up the opportunity to control the creatures on the board with damage and plague effects, as well as access to extremely potent artifact synergies, ensuring that Batman never enters a fight ill-equipped. And even if someone were to manage to escape the bat, they won't be able to forget his symbol and the wrath behind it. Well, Pepsi, I most definitely agree, and I love this design. I mean, cowards not being able to block the bat, of course, that is incredible. And yeah, I really like the way that you can actually dish out damage to those creatures. The creatures that you don't take out are too scared to ever come anywhere near this Batman. And yeah, I am quite frightened as well. Overall, an incredible design, incredible flavor. Again, congratulations, Pepsi, on your 4th place finish. But now it's time for us to move on to 3rd place with Commissioner Jim Gordon, designed by Boras. Commissioner Jim Gordon is a 3/2 human advisor ally that costs red, white, black, and says if an ability of another ally or advisor would trigger, it triggers additional time. Like the signal, tap X untapped advisors or allies you control, look at the top X cards of your library, you may reveal a legendary creature from among them, put in your hand, then shuffle. And Boras had this to say about this design. For my take on the Batman challenge, I wanted to choose the Dark Knight's faithful ally, Jim Gordon. In every iteration, Gordon stands by Batman's side, even when it costs him greatly, and so I thought this hero deserved his moment in the Magic spotlight. In Magic, detectives and investigators are usually advisors, and the ally creature type came naturally behind that one. I thought that the unique pairing of types would make for an interesting double tribal build. Then you can use your advisors and allies to summon a legendary defender to your side just when you need them most. Absolutely. I really like this double pairing of allies and advisors, and yeah, Commissioner Jim Gordon is the fantastic selection that can bring these two together. Doubling up on their abilities is incredible, and of course, lighting that single. How flavorful being able to bring a legendary creature right into your hand off the top in your library by utilizing those advisors and allies. Yeah, I really like this card. I think there's a lot of flavor to it, a lot of interesting possibilities for it, and again, a nice, interesting new combination of creature types that lead to that awesome double tribal build. So again, Boras, congratulations on finishing third with your fantastic design. But now it's time for us to move on to number 2 with Joker Prince of Chaos by Shaquille Oatmeal. Joker Prince of Chaos is a 1/3 human clown that costs red and has Provoke. When this creature attacks, you may have target creature defending player controls untap and block a defable. Joker Prince of Chaos is goated, and whenever a creature is dealt damage by a goated creature, goat it. Now, Shaquille Oatmeal had this to say about their design. Joker is perhaps the most iconic villain Batman has ever faced. It would be a crime not to have him featured in this challenge. When designing the Joker, I hope to capture his instigator-esque behavior with Provoke and his chaotic nature with the constant goading. The deck runs a bunch of forced combat effects and combat-centric cards, and the game will likely be total mayhem the moment he enters the battlefield, basically a typical Commander game. Well, Shaquille Oatmeal, you definitely captured the essence of Joker in an incredible way. Prince of Chaos is a great design. I am so happy you are bringing Provoke back. Provoke is a mechanic from way back when I used to play Standard a long time ago. And yeah, I'm so happy to see it on this incredibly iconic villain. And yeah, having Joker Prince of Chaos itself being goated too is absolutely incredible. Kind of Joker serum-esque, and yeah, spreading all of that, goading love around to everyone. Hey, let's just have everyone fighting constantly. Chaos everywhere. What is not to love about this design? Again, Shaquille Oatmeal, an incredible design. You definitely captured Joker in the best way possible. So again, congratulations on your second place finish. But now it's time to move on to the number 1 design of this challenge with Victor Freeze, Frozen Grief, coming in from Seismic Lawns. Victor Freeze is a 2/4 legendary snow creature human that costs 2 blue and a black and has Ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, tap that creature, put a stun counter on it. Each creature you don't control gets -1/-1 for each stun counter on it. And Seismic Lawns had this to say about their design. Mr. Freeze is one of the more tragic characters in the world of Batman, becoming incredibly vindictive after his wife fell to sickness. As a villainous magic card, Victor uses stun counters to freeze your opponent's creatures to push them into succumbing to the cold. With both an upkeep trigger and a no mercy style trigger, it's easy to start the freeze and then proliferate effects, and recent stun counter effects can keep the cold coming. Well, Seismic Lawns, I agree, and yes, stun counters are the perfect pick for Victor Freeze. It's just so flavorful, such a perfect combination. I absolutely love it, and yeah, being able to get stun counters out there in various ways, again, either that upkeep trigger or a punishing effect, if the opponent actually, hits you with a creature. And then, of course, like you mentioned, yeah, proliferating, getting more and more of those counters on your opponent's creatures, making it so essentially, hey, you're not going to be untapping anytime soon, or you know what? Let's just give you -1/-1 for all these stun counters, so you're just going to get taken out. So either your creatures are going to be useless, or they're going to be taken out in absolutely no time. Yeah, this is a great job really capturing that essence of Victor Freeze, and again, a perfect pairing with that stun counter. So again, congratulations, Seismic Lawns. You definitely earned this first place finish. And again, a massive thank you to everyone who participated and voted, and a huge thank you to Alano for putting it all together. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, if you are interested in joining the incredible Custom Dragon Highlander community, make sure you check out that Discord invite link in the description below. And with that, today's episode is coming to a close, so yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.